A fired waitress's heartwarming act for the undercover boss revealed an incredible truth that changed everything. Clara Cobb stood behind the counter of the Rainbow Diner, her infectious smile bright enough to light up the drab Midwestern mornings. The clang of plates and the sizzle of bacon were music to her ears. As she served coffee to a table full of regulars, she felt a sense of pride. Each customer had a story, a connection she cherished. Her heart swelled with gratitude as she glanced over to her 7-year-old son, Timmy, coloring quietly in a booth, his innocent giggles the sweetest sound. But little did she know that all of this was about to crumble. That fateful day, the diner was unusually quiet. With an awkward wait, Clara leaned against the counter, her heart racing. When the owner, Mr. Jenkins, approached her with a serious expression, her stomach dropped. "Clara, I was gonna wait until the end of the week, but I can't. We're short on customers. I'm sorry, but I'm letting you go." The words hit Clara like a tidal wave, her breath caught in her throat, tears swelling in her eyes. "But I need this job. My mom relies on me. Timmy." She shook her head, disbelief washing over her. In a single heartbeat, everything she worked for was gone. The tight-knit community that had once been her rock felt suddenly heavy with uncertainty. The kitchen where her laughter and kindness echoed turned silent, and she saw her coworkers, an elderly veteran battling demons and a recent widower struggling to be a father fighting their own invisible fights. With hope flickering in her chest like a dying flame, Clara wiped her tears and made a plan. She concocted the idea of a charity bake sale to uplift not just her family but her fellow employees. As she stayed late into the nights, surrounded by the aroma of fresh cupcakes and cookies, she felt the magic returning. Her co-workers slowly joined her, sharing cookies baked with heartfelt intention, and soon the mission became larger than any single loss. They weren't just raising funds, they were cultivating a community. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. As the bake sale approached, word spread like wildfire. The townsfolk flocked in droves, support wrapped around them like a warm blanket. Their laughter and stories filled the diner again, more vibrant than ever. Just when Clara thought she'd found her footing, Mr. Jenkins returned with a camera crew. An undercover boss, he revealed himself to the community, masked emotions floating below the surface. Emotions ran high as Clara's efforts started to draw attention, layers of hidden stories surfacing, making everyone realize their worth was much more than their paychecks. But amidst this hopeful tide, Clara faced an emotional whirlwind. When he learned about her role in the bake sale's success, it shattered the preconceived notions of success in America. Clara stood tall, knowing that true value transcends monetary measure. And just as the community surged to life, an unexpected twist loomed on the horizon. Would her courage withstand the test, and what changes awaited her and the community she loved? The road ahead was uncertain, but Clara knew one thing about resilience: it didn't just apply to her, but to everyone around her. Clara's heart raced as Mr. Jenkins stood there, his demeanor softening under the weight of the moment. The camera crew behind him captured every flicker of doubt and determination that danced across Clara's face. She felt the eyes of the diner on her, 100 stories swirling in the air, woven together by the threads of shared struggles. You're not just an employee," Mr. Jenkins began, hesitating for a moment, then straightening his posture. "You're a cornerstone of this community." "I see that now. The bake sale, it's incredible." A ripple of tension washed over the room. Clara blinked, momentarily stunned. Was he really acknowledging what she had done? Her heart sang, but it was quickly overshadowed by a looming fear. What did this mean for her? Was it just a moment of compassion, or was there something more? Mr. Jenkins stepped forward, glancing at the crew. "I need to apologize for how I treated you. You deserve better than what I offered." Clara's breath hitched in her throat. The words felt heavy, like a promise wrapped in sincerity. She searched his eyes, trying to read his intentions. Would the bakery funds go to Shores? As the patrons quietly absorbed the scene, Clara turned her gaze to Timmy, who was now pressing his tiny hands against the booth, wide-eyed and concerned. She caught his gaze, instantly uplifted by his innocent belief in her strength. She cleared her throat, shifting the gears of her mind. "I appreciate that, Mr. Jenkins, but that doesn't change what has happened. I still need to know what support you'll offer to the diner, and to me personally." The crowd murmured, leaning in, hooks of hope intertwined with shared concern. Mr. Jenkins nodded, poised to speak, when the diner phone rang loudly, cutting through the atmosphere like a bolt of lightning. Clara instinctively reached for it, her brow furrowed. "Rainbow Diner," she answered, and the voice on the other end sent chills through her. "Clara, this is Susan from the local news station. We want to do a feature on your bake sale." As she listened, the expression on Clara's face shifted from confusion to disbelief and then to exhilaration. The word had spread so fast that now their little community project was on the brink of something bigger than they could have ever imagined. With each detail shared, Clara felt a flicker of hope reigniting. It wouldn't just be a bake sale, it could be a beacon for change. When she finally hung up, the energy in the diner was electric. People chatted excitedly, envisioning how their stories would connect with others far beyond their small town. Suddenly, Clara felt larger than life. This was about more than just her, it was about everyone who had ever faced adversity, about their collective journey. "Mr. Jenkins," she turned back, determination said in her voice, "if you're serious about investing in our community, then let us do this right. Let us show people what we're really made of." His expression transformed, admiration shining through. "I think together, we can do something amazing." As the community rallied around Clara, a sense of unity replaced the tension in the diner. But beneath the excitement lurked the ever-present question: if they could raise awareness and funds, what would they do with it when they had the chance? The foundation had been laid, but the true test was yet to come. Clara glanced at Timmy, his face aglow with enthusiasm, and felt the rush of determination. Could this moment of triumph lead them to the unexpected? A crucial decision loomed ahead, one that held the potential to reshape not just the diner, but the very fabric of their community. Clara took a deep breath, ready to step into an unknown future. What would happen next when old wounds began to heal and new battles awaited? Clara's mind raced as excitement buzzed through the diner. She knew the local news feature meant not just recognition but a spark of change. The patrons around her were already discussing ideas, their voices rising in a chorus of hope and determination. "Maybe we could invite local farmers to sell fresh produce," shouted Mrs. Henderson from the corner booth. Her enthusiasm was infectious, lighting up the room. Clara smiled, sensing that this was more than just talk, it was the start of a movement. "I could showcase my art and donate the proceeds," added Jake, a young artist who often spent his afternoons in the diner sketching. His dreams were just like the savory aromas filling the space, rich and full of potential. Clara felt her heart swell. "What if we create a community cookbook?" she suggested, envisioning pages filled with family recipes, stories, and memories. Every purchase could help fund the diner and support those in need. The diner's energy surged, and Clara marveled at how quickly her idea turned into a rallying point. She could feel the weight of their past struggles, like thick fog lifting to reveal a bright horizon. "Let us do it," Mr. Jenkins chimed in, his eyes glinting with resolve. "I'll match every dollar raised for the bake sale and the cookbook." A wave of gasps swept through the diner. Could they really pull this off? Clara felt a mixture of joy and doubt bubble within her. But if anything, the moment had sparked a flame in people's hearts, and she had to believe they could channel that into something powerful. Just then, the diner doors swung open and a familiar face stepped inside. It was Lucy, Clara's childhood friend, who had moved away years ago. "Clara. I heard about the bake sale and came as soon as I could," she exclaimed, hugging Clara tightly. Clara's heart fluttered. Here was someone who had seen her journey from the beginning, someone who knew what it had taken to get to this point. "Lucy. I can't believe you're here," Clara replied, pulling back to study her friend's face, which radiated a warmth that made everything feel possible. "What's the plan?" Lucy asked, her eyes shining with anticipation. Clara could feel the excitement humming beneath the surface, ready to erupt. "We're planning a bake sale, a cookbook, and raising funds for the diner. The news will be here soon to cover it all." Clara couldn't contain herself. The dream was alive and breathing. Together they brainstormed, visions of cupcakes, pies, and stories swirling through their minds. Clara felt lighter than ever, as if years of doubt and fear were evaporating, but as the plans began to take shape, a nagging worry edged its way into her thoughts. The more they raised, the more expectations would rise. What if they couldn't meet them? What if this became relentless and unmanageable? The laughter and chatter around her filled her ears, but a cold shiver crept down Clara's spine. The pressure to succeed loomed like a shadow just beyond the beautiful light of their ambitions. "Clara, are you okay?" Lucy asked, her voice low, noticing the shift in Clara's expression. "Yeah, just thinking," she replied, forcing a smile. But fear clung to her heart like a weight, wrapping around her resolve. Would they really be able to change things, or would the pressure crush them before they got started? That night, Clara lay awake in bed, her mind spinning. The possibilities felt endless, yet the stakes were real. Just as she felt her eyelids grow heavy, a message pinged on her phone. A notification from the news station. It read, "We want to discuss how your story can inspire more people. Are you ready for this?" With her heart racing anew, Clara turned to the message, an uneasy thrill coursing through her. Could she really help the diner and her community? And just as her thoughts threatened to spiral, she whispered into the night, "What if I fail? What if it's all too much?" As Clara faced the flickering light of fear, she knew tomorrow would hold more questions than answers, and she'd have to find a way through the darkness to trust in what she had started. What would she decide when the weight of hope hung in the balance, forcing her to confront the reality she had long avoided? Clara awoke to the soft light of dawn seeping through her window, chasing away the remnants of the night's worries. She rolled over, her heart pounding in her chest, as the message from the news station replayed in her mind. Today was the day everything would change, or so she hoped. Dragging herself out of bed, Clara made her way to the kitchen. The scent of brewing coffee filled the air, and she poured herself a steaming cup. It was a small comfort, one she realized she would need as the day unfolded. The ideas buzzing in her head felt as fragile as morning dew. She took a deep breath, steadying herself. The ache of anxiety lingered, but it was interspersed with flickers of determination. By mid-morning, the diner was buzzing with activity. Word had spread, and the tables were filled with eager patrons, all ready to contribute their ideas and energy to the cause. Clara soaked in the smiles and laughter surrounding her. It felt good to be part of a community that believed in something bigger than themselves. "Clara!" Lucy called from the back, her arms overflowing with boxes of bake sale supplies. "We need more flour. Do you mind running to the store?" "Absolutely," Clara responded, her heart racing with purpose. Perhaps getting out of the diner would help center her thoughts. The sun glared down as she stepped outside, the warm rays wrapping around her like a comforting embrace. The little grocery store was only a few blocks away, and with each step, she remembered fond moments from her childhood here, racing Lucy to the candy aisle, laughing at the odd flavors of ice cream. Clara couldn't help but feel a renewed sense of optimism. When she arrived, a few regulars waved at her, and she greeted them with a smile. Gathering the flour and other supplies felt oddly reassuring, grounding her amid the swirling uncertainty. As she turned the corner to check out, her heart sank. A group of local news reporters stood outside, cameras poised. They seemed to be waiting for something, maybe her. What would they ask? Would they want to know her journey with the diner, her fears? Before she could overthink it, her feet moved forward. She could hear the din of conversation inside the store as she joined the line. Clara. A familiar voice rang out. It was Mrs. Henderson, cradling a basket of produce. I just heard the news team is here to cover your story. I'm so proud of you. Thanks, Mrs. H. I hope it goes well, Clara replied, feeling the warmth of motivation surge through her again. Just then, the door swung open. A tall reporter strode in, a bright smile plastered on her face. Clara. We'd love a moment of your time if you're willing. Her heart raced, but she nodded. Sure, what do you need? As they stepped outside, the cameras rolled. The reporter asked her about the plans for the bake sale and cookbook. Clara felt the words tumble from her mouth. She spoke about community, hope, and the transformative power of the diner. Her passion flowed freely, each sentence igniting more sunshine within her, but mid-sentence, a thought crashed like a wave. What if she wasn't enough? What if this attempt to change things would fall flat? Finally, it felt like she was standing on the brink of something monumental. The reporter wrapped up the segment with a smile, but Clara's thoughts continued to rattle in her mind. Clara, Lucy's voice broke through the haze as she appeared beside her. You did amazing. Everyone's talking about how powerful your words were. Clara managed a smile, but doubt still lingered. What should have felt exhilarating also felt like an immense weight. Fate had called, but would she rise to meet it, or crumble under the pressure? As the day wore on, with preparations buzzing around her, Clara battled within herself. She couldn't shake the worry that this was just the beginning of something slippery, a dream teetering on the edge of reality. That evening, as she wiped down the counter, Clara knew she would need to dig deep to find her strength. What if I'm scared? She whispered into the silence of the diner, a question for the universe. But would she allow fear to lead her into hiding? Tomorrow would come with its own challenges, and with it another chance. Clara's heart whispered a hope. Maybe this was an opportunity to prove that change was possible, however daunting it seemed, and as she took a moment to catch her breath, she realized that perhaps the world was not as heavy as it felt. Maybe, just maybe, this was the moment she had been waiting for all along. What if the community rallied behind her dreams? But could Clara truly stand at the forefront, vulnerable yet undeniable? Clara felt a stab of uncertainty as she wrestled with her own emotions. She finished cleaning the last table and glanced around the diner. The laughter and clinking of dishes seemed to echo in her mind, a comforting backdrop to a day filled with anticipation and hope. Yet beneath it all lay a current of fear. She was about to push her dreams into the world, but what if those dreams didn't hold up? She took another deep breath and forced herself to smile at the customers, their faces glowing with warmth and support. The community was behind her, but that didn't erase the doubts whispering at the edges of her mind. Clara? Lucy's voice pulled her from her thoughts, her eyes bright with excitement. Did you see the online post? People are already sharing their memories of the diner. It's going viral. Clara's heart leapt, her breath catching. Really? They're talking about us? Yep. It's amazing. Lucy beamed, scrolling through her phone. Look. Clara leaned over, her curiosity piqued. As she read through the comments, snippets of shared memories and nostalgic anecdotes poured in. Each one was a piece of the fabric that made the diner what it was: cheerful breakfasts with family, first dates over milkshakes, and moments of comfort during tough times. It was thrilling and utterly terrifying. Wow, Lucy, it's like people really feel connected to this place, Clara mused, her heart swelling with pride. Exactly. And you're at the center of it all, Lucy replied, her excitement brightening the room. We should ride this wave. What if we go live tomorrow, capture more of these memories? Live? Clara echoed, her heart fluttering at the thought. Isn't that pushing it a bit far? Trust me, it'll be grand. They're craving this. We should all celebrate what this diner means to us. You started it. A moment of hesitation washed over Clara as she envisioned standing in front of a camera again. But then she remembered the crowd outside the grocery store, the sense of purpose she felt when speaking about community. Maybe Lucy was right. Okay, let's do it, Clara said, her voice stronger now. But I want to make sure it's not just about me, it's about everyone who walks through these doors. With each idea that bounced off them, Clara felt the heaviness lighten. She felt stronger knowing she wouldn't be alone, they had each other, and a community waiting to support this venture. As the evening wound down, Clara finished her closing duties while Lucy packed up supplies. She felt tipsy with excitement, but something deeper still simmered beneath the surface. A nagging worry crept back in what would happen if it fell apart, if they were met with skepticism instead of praise. Clara. Lucy called out again, pulling her from her thoughts. We can totally make posters for the live event. Let's put pictures of the diner memories people have shared and advertise it all over social media. Clara smiled, feeling the thrill of connection wrap around her. That sounds amazing. Let's do it. They worked late into the night, fueled by coffee and laughter. Digital posters came alive on their phones, bright images of smiling families, pancakes stacked high, and the diner's iconic neon sign illuminating the memories that birthed joy. As they clicked post to share the event, Clara's heart raced. What if this was the tipping point? What if this was truly the moment where everything started to shift? Just when she thought they were done, her phone pinged again, pulling her attention. It was a message from an unfamiliar number. Clara's heart skipped. Hi Clara, it's Sam from the news. I'd love to do a follow-up story about your live event. Let's make it special. Hope soared inside her mixed with adrenaline. The next chapter of her journey was unfurling before her eyes, and it felt like now or never. Clara looked at Lucy, a grin spreading across her face. What if this becomes something bigger? What if it leads to more than just a bake sale? Lucy laughed, that's the spirit. Let's turn this diner into something legendary. But amidst her excitement, a sliver of doubt whispered again. What if the pressure became too much? What if she faltered at this crucial moment, with the possibilities stretching out before her like an open highway? She felt the weight of her dream pulse within her. Tomorrow would be more than a simple event, it would be a chance to redefine everything, but would Clara have the strength to handle the spotlight? As she locked up the diner, the uncertainty clung to her, a stark truth. She was standing on the edge of something extraordinary, but the leap still felt immeasurable. Clara woke up to the sun spilling through her window, casting a warm glow over her room. It was the day. Her heart raced at the thought of the live event, the eager anticipation mixing with a swirl of anxiety in her stomach. She took a deep breath, trying to calm herself as she repeated Lucy's words in her mind, let's turn this diner into something legendary. She dressed quickly, opting for her favorite denim overalls and a bright yellow t-shirt. Clara wanted to embody the spirit of the diner, bold, cheerful, and inviting. As she walked into the diner, the familiar scent of fresh coffee and bacon greeted her like an old friend. Morning, superstar. Lucy called out, her hair bouncing as she arranged the tables. You ready for today? I think so. I just have this knot in my stomach, Clara admitted, tying her apron around her waist. Lucy flashed her a reassuring smile. That's normal. Everyone feels it. Just remember, it's all about sharing the love. Besides, you're not alone in this. Clara smiled back, but the knot didn't loosen. She looked around the diner, recalling all the heartfelt stories shared over years, every laugh echoing like a promise of support. The thought of standing in front of everyone still sent jitters through her veins. As customers began to filter in, Clara noticed the excitement bubbling in the air. Regulars waved hello, and newcomers took in the diner's cozy ambience. A group of kids giggled over their strawberry milkshakes, and an elderly couple shared a slice of their favorite pie, each bite a silent toast to memories past. They were all a part of this day too. Clara! Quick! Lucy shouted, pulling Clara back from her reverie. She waved her phone excitedly. Look at this. People are sending in videos of their favorite diner moments. They're so sweet. Clara's heart swelled as she watched clips of laughter and warmth flooding in. Each person had their own story, their own connection to this place. Let us play some of these during the live stream, Clara said, her excitement growing. The pressure began shifting, from fear to a sense of unity. They could do this together. With a flurry of nerves and laughter, preparations rolled into motion. The hours passed in a blur, filled with setting up cameras, and testing the sound. Clara stood back for a moment, watching Lucy orchestrate the scene, getting everything just right. 5 minutes to showtime. Lucy called, and Clara felt her heart race. The diner was packed now, friends and families all gathered, their faces lit with anticipation. Clara took another deep breath, wiping her palms on her apron. She couldn't do it alone, this was about community. She glanced at Lucy, who returned her gaze, nodding in encouragement. As Clara stepped in front of the camera, she felt the warmth of their smiles, the rush of affection enveloping her. She realized this moment wasn't just a simple live event, it was a celebration, a way to connect people to each other and to the diner. Welcome, everyone. Clara's voice rang clear as she caught sight of familiar faces, all smiling back at her. Thank you for being here. Today isn't just about the diner, it's about all of you. Let us dive into some of the amazing memories you've shared. As she began sharing the clips, laughter and tears followed. The diner stirred with joy, and Clara felt alive, soaking in every moment. But then, just when the energy peaked, a figure pushed through the door, a person she didn't recognize, camera in tow. Clara's heart skipped. Was this someone from the news? Excuse me. Is this where the live event is happening? The stranger asked, backpack slung over one shoulder. Yes. Clara replied, holding her breath. Are you? The stranger smiled. I'm a producer for a documentary on community spaces and I think your diner is perfect for it. The room fell silent, and Clara could feel her pulse racing. What did this mean? Was this the path to something even bigger or another wave of pressure on her journey? As uncertainty hovered over her like a fleeting shadow, she realized that each moment brought change, and maybe that was the beauty of it all. Yet, a question loomed: could this be the beginning of more than just a live event? Was the diner ready to transform even further? Clara's mind whirled. The excitement that buzzed through the diner suddenly felt heavy with ambiguity. Who was she to take on the world of documentaries? What if they found her diner was just small and unremarkable? Hey! Lucy's voice cut through her thoughts like a lifeline. She leaned closer to Clara, whispering, "We got this. Just be yourself." Clara smiled, but the anxiety lingered. Unable to ignore the stranger any longer, she took a step towards him. So, what does the documentary involve? Oh, it's exploring how community spaces bring people together, the producer explained, his eyes lighting up. Your diner has a rich history, and I can see how loved it is. This isn't just a spot for food, it's a gathering place. My team wants to capture that essence. The confidence in his voice was infectious. Clara took a deep breath, her heart rate calming just a bit. So, how do you want to do this? Just let it flow. We'll film during your event and interview customers. We want the real stories, he said, and with that, the weight of pressure morphed into something nearly exhilarating. Clara glanced around the diner. It was buzzing with joy, families laughing, friends sharing stories. They were sharing their lives, and her diner was at the heart of it all. All right, let us do it. As the cameras rolled, Clara introduced the next video. A young woman spoke animatedly about her first job waiting tables at the diner, her vivid memories bursting forth like confetti. The crowd laughed at her tales of spilling drinks and meeting regulars who turned into friends. "And there's Clara." The girl beamed, pointing to Clara on screen. "I remember her helping me through my first Friday rush. Couldn't have done it without her." Cheers erupted in the diner, and Clara couldn't help but blush. She felt the warmth of community wrap around her like a cherished sweater. This was what it was all about, a shared history, laughter, and love woven into everyday moments. As the event continued, the producer moved through the crowd, filming snippets of conversations, capturing chuckles, sighs, and the clatter of dishes. Each smile he caught on camera felt like a validation of their combined effort. It truly was a legendary day. But then, just when Clara thought everything was at its height, a familiar face appeared at the window. It was Jenna, her old high school rival. Clara's stomach dropped. This wasn't just a reunion. Jenna had always found a way to overshadow her. She stepped inside, and the laughter around Clara stuttered to a halt. "What's this? A diner documentary?" Jenna's voice dripped with sarcasm. "Thought this place was getting shut down." Clara's heart sank. The camera turned toward her as she faced Jenna, the producer still sensing the tension. This wasn't how the event was supposed to go. Clara took a breath, feeling the warmth of her friends behind her, drawing strength from their support. "Yes, it is," Clara said firmly, her voice steady. "And it's about showing how special this diner is to our community." Jenna rolled her eyes. "Really? It looks a little outdated to me." At that moment, Clara realized she had a choice. She could let Jenna's taunts lower her spirits or rise up to the challenge. "We may not be flashy, but we're real," Clara replied, meeting Jenna's gaze. The diner erupted with murmurs of support. Clara's heart raced. "Everyone here loves this place, Jenna. And that's what matters." The producer's camera zoomed in, it felt electric. A moment of tension transformed into something electrifying. Clara began to feel a shift in the room, the gathered crowd leaned toward her, their faces supportive and proud. Jenna seemed taken aback, momentarily silent. The diner's energy buzzed once more, lifting Clara even higher. As Jenna turned to leave, she muttered something Clara couldn't quite catch. But she didn't care. The day was still alive, the memories still flowing, and the truth remained: it was their diner, their stories, and their love that made it extraordinary. Clara turned back toward the crowd, ready to continue. But deep down, she wondered, what new adventures awaited her now that they had spotlighted the diner? Was this a mere beginning or the start of something monumental? And as she shared more memories, the possibilities swirled in her mind, one question lingering in the air: could this unexpected moment change everything for the diner? Clara continued to speak, her voice steady, her heart racing with renewed energy. The warmth from her friends energized her, each laugh and cheer acting like fuel for her spirit. Here in this little diner, with this incredible community surrounding her, she felt invincible. It was more than just a restaurant, it was a tapestry of lives intertwined, a sanctuary where everyone felt welcomed. As the moments ticked by, customers came forward to share their stories. An elderly gentleman reminisced about how he met his wife while waiting in line for Sunday brunch. A young couple mentioned how their first date at the diner had blossomed into a beautiful marriage. Clara smiled as she listened, each tale tugging at her heartstrings. But then, a soft shift in the atmosphere caught her attention. Clara turned to see Jenna hovering at the edge of the crowd. Despite the tension of moments before, Clara could see a flicker of uncertain vulnerability in her old rival's eyes. Clara's pulse quickened again, caught between disbelief and curiosity. Did Jenna truly want to join in, or was she simply drawn in by the warmth of the diner's spirit? "Hey, Clara!" Jenna's voice was softer now, less biting. The diner went quiet, all eyes turning toward her. Clara felt her heart beat louder, an unfamiliar sensation rippling through her. "Yeah," Clara replied, trying to keep her own voice steady while the weight of expectation hung in the air. I didn't realize people cared so much about this place." Jenna was clearly searching for the right words, her bravado dissipating. "It was just a diner to me." Clara felt a twist in her stomach. Could this be a step towards reconciliation? "It means the world to us. It's where we connect," Clara replied, an unexpected warmth spreading through her. "There's so much love here." The crowd's energy shifted again, encouraging Jenna to pull deeper into this narrative that Clara had created. Slowly, Clara gestured for Jenna to take a seat beside her. To her shock, Jenna obliged, taking a tentative seat at the edge of the booth, the camera capturing her every hesitant movement. "Maybe you could share a memory too?" Clara proposed, her voice gentle. Jenna glanced around, her expression softened by the genuine vibe of the diner. She hesitated, but the room was filled with kindness, urging her forward. "I once worked here during the summer before my senior year. It was hectic, and I was overwhelmed. But it was also fun. I've always been proud of how hard everyone worked here." Her eyes drifted, remembering, the crowd murmured encouragingly, and Clara realized that despite their rivalry, Jenna also had a history tied to the diner. It was a shared space, a common ground upon which they could reconnect. "See?" Clara smiled, warmth bubbling in her chest. "You have a story, too." Then, as Jenna began to share her experiences, the struggles, the laughter, and the crazy rushes during the lunchtime rush, something incredible happened. The diner responded. Laughter erupted again, and Jenna began to smile as familiar memories poured from her heart. Clara felt relief. Maybe this night would change everything, not just for her, but for Jenna as well. Amid the growing warmth between them, Clara had an idea. After Jenna finished, she leaned closer to the crowd. "What if we did this more often? Made this diner a space for storytelling, where everyone feels welcome to share?" Applause erupted from the patrons, and Clara beamed with excitement. She turned to Jenna, who seemed contemplative, her cheeks flushed with newfound purpose. "Yeah, I think that could be interesting," Jenna replied, a glimmer of hope evident in her eyes. Clara's heart soared. Together, they could turn this diner into a haven for shared stories. What a twist. Just when everything felt uncertain, hope had flickered back to life, but then, Clara's moment of joy dimmed for a second. Would the community really embrace Jenna? Would they be able to move past the rivalry? The producer adjusted the camera, catching every ounce of chaos and camaraderie as Clara contemplated the unfolding dynamics in her life and diner. What doors could be opened next? Did they dare to dream of growth and community? As Clara faced the crowd and Jenna, she wondered how far this could go, realizing that sometimes, change begins unexpectedly. But would Jenna's past hold her back, or would they forge a new path together? Clara took a breath, the thrill of uncertainty swirling around her. What awaited them in the next chapter? As Jenna took a deep breath, Clara could see the weight of expectation still lingering in the air. The applause from the patrons faded into an encouraging hum as Clara moved closer to Jenna, feeling a nervous energy crackle between them. For all the years of rivalry and resentment, this moment felt different. It didn't seem to matter that they once stood on opposite sides. The diner had pulled them into a shared experience of vulnerability. "Are you ready for this?" Clara asked, her voice low but full of encouragement. Jenna nodded, eyes shining with a blend of excitement and fear. "I think I want to try," Jenna replied, her determination rising. The crowd leaned in, eager for more. Clara couldn't help but feel the power of the moment coursing through her. This was more than just storytelling. It was healing. Jenna's memories flowed like a river, rushing and bubbling. She spoke of late-night shifts, the aroma of coffee, and the bond she had formed with coworkers. Clara had never seen this side of her rival, and she felt a sense of unity swell within her. Each story Jenna shared was met with laughter and cheers from the crowd, fostering a sense of connection that wasn't just limited to their shared history of working at the diner. It was much bigger than that. As Jenna's voice filled the diner, Clara glanced at the faces surrounding her. Each one was enraptured, a testament to the warmth that filled the space. They were all a part of this story now, witnesses to the unexpected transformation taking place right before their eyes. The connection blossomed, knitting together strangers who had come together over shared meals and moments of joy. Just as the energy peaked, Jenna paused, the weight of her next words heavy in the space. I guess I didn't really appreciate this place back then. I was too caught up in my own head. Her voice trembled slightly. But seeing how much it means to you all, it's making me realize how important it is to have a community. A round of cheers erupted as she took a moment to breathe, clearly feeling the support envelop her. Clara watched, her heart infusing with warmth. Jenna had grown in ways Clara had never imagined possible, and suddenly the dining room felt alive with possibility. Thank you, all of you, Jenna said, her voice breaking, genuine gratitude pouring out of her. For letting me share. For letting me be a part of this again. Something shifted that night, and the diner's atmosphere buzzed with a new energy. Clara felt the weight lift from her shoulders. This was more than just their stories, it was a moment for healing, for embracing change and growth together. As the night wore on, couples paired up to tell their tales, friendships blossomed anew, and Clara could feel the spirit of the diner transforming. It became a living entity, a symbol of all the love they had poured into their lives and shared experiences. Jenna's smile widened as laughter danced around her. She had dared to break the wall between them, and people were starting to see her differently. Clara leaned in, hopes fluttered in her chest like butterflies. Maybe we should do this every week, Clara suggested, excitement bubbling. Jenna nodded, a newfound sense of belonging in her eyes. Yes. Like a storytelling night. The crowd erupted in applause again, feeling the magic of their connection. But beneath Clara's excitement lay an underlying question that haunted her. Would the community embrace this change beyond this night? Would they truly allow Jenna to become one of them? As doubt crept in, Clara glanced at Jenna, who seemed to embody all the transformation they had been waiting for. What awaited them on this journey of collective healing? Clara's heart raced with hope and anticipation. Uncertainty lingered in the air, whispering secret promises of what could be. Only time would tell if this newfound path would lead them where they truly needed to go. What challenges would they face next as they attempted to build their shared story? As the joyous chaos of the live event continued to swirl around them, Clara felt the warmth of the community cradle her as if the diner had wrapped its arms around every individual present, each story interwoven into a beautiful tapestry of resilience. The laughter and clapping were like a heartbeat, pumping life into their shared dreams, and each moment felt monumental. But as the crowd shared tales of laughter, tears, and camaraderie, Clara's eyes drifted to Jenna, who now seemed lost in thought, her gaze distant yet softened by the acceptance surrounding them. Clara could sense an undeniable shift, a transformative energy that whispered promises of new beginnings and renewed friendships. Would this be the catalyzing moment to heal old wounds and shift their bond towards something authentic? Clara took a deep breath, feeling the urge to maintain the momentum. Let us keep the stories flowing. She called out, inspiring the crowd to continue sharing their experiences. The responses were immediate, hands shot up, patrons eager to contribute their slice of life. Clara walked around, listening closely, all the while fueled by a blend of excitement and vulnerability. Just then, a patron named Dave, a retired teacher with gentle eyes, stepped forward. This diner, it's more than a place to eat. It's a home, a haven for my grandchildren. They know they'll get sweet treats and love here. His voice was shaky yet firm, resonating deeper than mere words. Clara beamed, overwhelmed by the affection and emotions rising around her. Exactly. Clara cried, encouraged by the response. This is about building our community up. We can strengthen our roots together. The room erupted with applause, the unity palpable, and Clara's heart swelled with purpose. As Clara turned for another story, she caught Jenna's eye again. There was something different about her. The armor she had worn for so long began to crack. Clara moved closer, knowing the winds of change were strong but unsure how Jenna would adapt. "Hey, Jenna, are you okay?" Clara asked softly, brushing the tension aside. Jenna turned, a mix of gratitude and anxiety swimming in her eyes. "I've never felt something like this before," she admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. "It feels nice to be part of something good." Clara could see her vulnerability, the barriers slowly giving way to the hope blooming within the space. "Do you want to share something more?" Clara gently nudged, knowing that this was a pivotal moment. "Everyone is rooting for you." Jenna hesitated, weighing her heart against the heaviness of her past. And then, like a flower unfurling, she stepped forward, her voice stronger now. "I spent so much time competing, and I forgot the value of community. It's not about individual accomplishments, it's about each of us lifting each other up." The words spilled out, earnest and raw, her tears reflecting the diner's old neon lights. The crowd listened intently, the collective admiration strengthening their connection. Clara felt a wave of gratitude flooding her chest. This was it. This was the transformation they all craved, not just Clara's journey but Jenna's as well. Together, they could rewrite the narrative. With hearts intertwined, the evening transitioned into a spontaneous celebration. The laughter that echoed throughout the diner painted the night with hues of unity and resilience. Clara noticed some familiar faces from different walks of life, all coming together, each adding a splash of color to the canvas of their shared experiences. As the stories continued flowing late into the night, Clara couldn't help but reflect on the uncertainty that had once paralyzed her. The weight of her past struggles slowly melted away, illuminated by the collective hope that had ignited among everyone present. And then, as if the universe was conspiring in their favor, the producer of the documentary stepped forward. "What we've captured tonight is magic. This isn't just the diner, it's a movement, a powerful force of change in this community. I'd love to help amplify this as a series, perhaps even a community project." Each word echoed with promise, igniting enthusiasm within Clara. The air crackled with excitement as the thought of transforming their diner into more than just a place to eat soared through her mind. Clara gathered her breath, standing beside Jenna. "We have something incredible here," she said, her voice humble yet assertive. "Let us not just make this a one-time event. Let us create a space where every single member of the community feels seen, heard, and valued." The diners erupted into cheers, faces ablaze with determination and camaraderie. Clara felt the love ripple around her, and in that instant, she realized this was not just her journey, it was theirs. The diner had woven together their lives like a warm blanket, revealing the unparalleled strength of togetherness. As Clara and Jenna joined hands, the threads of their story began binding tightly, overcoming uncertainty and fear. They were ready to embrace the future together, no longer rivals but allies committed to elevating their beloved diner and community. That evening marked the dawn of something profound. Clara concluded the event with tears of joy blurring her vision, feeling an overwhelming gratitude for the unexpected turns life had gifted her. The diner wasn't just a building, it was a heartbeat, pulsating with love and laughter, a beacon of hope in the small Midwestern town. As the final moments of the night twinkled with laughter and celebrations, Clara knew they had broken ground, paving the way for a brighter tomorrow. It was time to dream big together. The uncertainties ahead melted into possibilities, and the journey continued, beckoning them to embrace it with open arms. And now, dear friends, this is your time to join us on this journey. You need to subscribe now to witness the next steps on this path of transformation. This is the moment to show your support. Hit that like button, and let us feed the algorithm together. Comment below with your reactions, your hopes, and your ideas for the next chapter. And please, don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this incredible transformation in action. Let's build a community that echoes love and support for one another.